Maximus Gibbs at age 13 became the fan favorite of the Coach Snoop football show. He was already the biggest player in the league as he weighed over 300 pounds at age 13. And during the show, he started on the offensive line for Snoop's Diamond Valley Steelers. The league that Snoop Dogg created saw many star wide receivers come through, such as John Ross and Juju Smith-Schuster. However, in 2018, when the show aired, the most popular player was Maximus Gibbs. He was just downright huge, and this followed him throughout his high school football career. Maximus Gibbs would go on to play high school football at St. John Bosco. Like I said, he was absolutely huge, as in high school football, he was the biggest player at 6'6", 385 pounds on the starting offensive line. The starting quarterback that he blocked for was actually DJ Uyangale, and his high school football team was absolutely stacked, as they would win the 2019 state championship and would also be named the national champion. And on this team, he was a key contributor, as in 2020, he'd be named the Prep Star All-Western, and in 2021, he'd be named the Max Preps All-State second team. And coming out of high school, Maximus Gibbs was a pretty big deal, as he was a 3-star recruit, and he had many major Division I offers, such as Alabama, Florida, and Florida State. But ultimately, in 2021, Maximus Gibbs decided to stay home and commit to play for the USC Trojans. And in his college football career, things get crazy. Like I stated, Maximus Gibbs played offensive line in high school and was recruited to play this at USC. But in 2021, his true freshman season at USC, he would actually be moved positions to the defensive line. And this seemed to be a good role for Maximus Gibbs, as he'd play USC's last 8 games for them on the defensive line. However, overall, he did not do much in his true freshman season, as he only had 2 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. However, just playing as a true freshman was an accomplishment, and he had huge expectations going into his sophomore season. And following his freshman season at USC, Maximus Gibbs became the biggest player in college football, as he stood at 6'7" and weighed 385 pounds. But for some extremely weird season, USC actually moved him back to the offensive line in 2022 after he excelled at the defensive line. And USC had a pretty loaded depth chart on the offensive line, so he did not see much playing time in 2022. Gibbs did manage to see some playing time, but it was mostly on special teams for USC. And after the season, he was kind of just done with USC and decided to enter the transfer portal for a fresh start. And of course, during the Coach Snoop show, he made some pretty good connections. And during the 2022 season, Coach Deion Sanders was starting to make headlines as the Jackson State coach. And him and Maximus Gibbs had a relationship, so that's where he decided to transfer in 2022. However, as we all know, in 2022, Deion Sanders left Jackson State after the season and took the job at Colorado. So this would end up leaving Maximus Gibbs stranded at Jackson State. And I know some of you might say, well, why doesn't he transfer to Colorado? Well, he actually cannot do that under NCAA rules. So he was forced to stay at Jackson State during the 2023 season. And what sucks even more is it seems that Maximus Gibbs did not even play at all last season for Jackson State. I really just feel bad for this guy, because he had huge potential but kind of just got screwed. And after not playing at all this season, it seems that people believe that he is stepping away from football. And this really just stinks, as he had huge potential and was a fan favorite on the Coach Snoop show. He had so many supporters and limitless potential, playing 3 seasons of college football. However, now it seems his football career is over.